So, the NAWCQ is this up and coming weekend, and there are going to be everyone playing hella sweaty meta decks. I'm one of them. I'm definitely playing meta. However, there's a bunch of good rogue decks a lot of you guys can check out. So in this video, I'm going to talk about those decks in detail. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button for more. I'm uploading as much as I can throughout the week. And be sure to check out my new Discord in the description down below, and where I'll be talking about different Yu-Gi-Oh topics, having deck doctor things, and a whole bunch of stuff coming into my Discord. So if you guys been wanting to watch my channel and love my content, want to follow me on Discord for more little updates, link in the description down below to go follow that and help support the community in the Rogue Hero Army, as I like to call it. So, Rogue decks going to the NAWCQ. It's going to be crazy because a lot of these Rogue decks may be a surprise to you guys. Some may not. But after doing a lot of playtesting on Dueling Book, I've noticed I'm seeing a lot of consistent Rogue decks pop up that luckily for me I am beating. However, don't be surprised if you get caught with your pants down against these decks. First off, honorable mentions. One was Super Quantai. I played against that deck last night. Kind of ended my game early because it was a long-ass combo. But when the deck pops off, it essentially makes a Cleefort Towers that's really beefy with a bunch. It's like a turn skip deck. So if you let Super Quantai pop off, it's an FTK. And the other deck that's honorable mention is Blue Eyes White Dragon. It has decreased, in my opinion, from meta to rogue now. It's like probably tier 2 at best. Really good deck, needs a really good pilot. And don't get caught with your pants down against Blue Eyes, because it will cook you. Now, the first rogue deck going into the NAWCQ 2025. Now, this deck is going to be probably a shocker to you guys, but trust me, it cooks when it plays well. Sky Striker. Due to Duel's Advance dropping, all this new Sky Striker support came out, and it's crazy. They got one guy to summon 2 Sky Strikers from the deck. The deck already has crazy, control aspect of it, and it spams their monsters like crazy. The flaw with Sky Strikers nowadays is just it has to go first. Going second is a little weak, especially in a format where we got decks like Pure Yugioh with Heraldics. You got Misarugi Yugioh that is hand looping for 2 to 4 cards on average. So it's kind of scary playing board breakers in a format like this, because if you get paired up with a hand loop deck, you're going to have a bad time. However, if you don't get hand looped, you can control the board and win games. I'm seeing Sky Striker pop up a lot on Dueling Book, and it is a hard deck to beat. They run a lot of the same old cards, but if you have things like Lightning Storm, Harvey's Feather Duster, things like that, you should be good. But once again, remember, they can run those cards too, as well as Droll and Lockbird, which craps on a lot of the meta decks like Misarugi and things like that. So with that being said, yeah, man, Sky Strikers is good. Don't sleep on it. It does kind of have a hard time against Malice as well, but once again, it depends on the hands. Like, they open up like their Lanciers game 2 and 3, and or they open up a lot of good board breakers to stop whatever type of Malice board is made at the time. They can be pretty good as well. Like, Sky Strikers is one of those really controlled decks, and once they get the ball rolling, it's going to be really hard to beat and give you a headache. So with that being said, be on the lookout for Sky Strikers. Next deck is Regenesis Kashtira. Bro, I swear, I feel like everyone and their mother is playing this deck, and for good reason. If you bring out Kashtira Unicorn, most people in the Ryzo Misarugi deck, or just Ryzo decks in general, they are playing one dual drive and one detonator. So if you go banish a dual drive and a detonator with your Unicorn, you're good. Now, you still ain't gonna have an easy game because the Misarugi engine, as well as the other rank 4 engine in the Ryzo deck, is really good. However, the flaw with this deck, once again, just like Sky Strikers, they have a hard time going second. If this deck goes first, and your opponent doesn't open up any hand traps, it's like most decks on this list, they can cook. They set up an unbeatable board with Kashtira monsters. We all know how annoying the Kashtira monsters are because they have so much control within the game. Just banishing things out of the graveyard face down so you can't recur it. And with Unicorn eating at your extra deck, you're going to have a hard time against this deck. So don't sleep on it. It's going to be probably everywhere. For players who are on a budget, who want to play this Nationals. And it's a really good anti-meta strategy, and I won't be surprised if one makes the top 128 because it's just really that good of a deck, honestly. Like, it's really scary because if you go second against that deck, and they have everything they need, they're going to win, 100%. Unless you just have good side deck. Now, going first, you're probably going to win if you're playing Misarugi Yugioh or some go first deck like most of the meta decks are nowadays, like Malice, things like that. But once they go first in game 3, it's really scary. You really have to hope you have your Lightning Storms, Feather Dusters, things like that. and pray that they just didn't draw a cracked hand, which is really scary going into this event. So be on the lookout for that deck. That deck will cook you if you let it. Next up, Fiendsmith Misarugi. Now, you guys may think this is not a rogue deck, but it's definitely a rogue deck. Fiendsmith is one of those engines that I think it kind of caught up to power creep. A lot of players like myself aren't really worried about the Fiendsmith stuff anymore because you rarely see it because the Misarugi stuff is just that better. However, Fiendsmith Misarugi decks and just Fiendsmith decks in general, Fiendsmith Misarugi is a really strong anti-meta deck because it can play things like the Cast Hero to supplement it, because Cast Heroes can go into Moon and Moon go into Requiem, and you guys already know the Fiendsmith combo lines that are boring. Konami, please do that in that deck. However, they have a follow-up with the Misarugi engine, which makes the deck very threatening. It's a really slow, grindy, controlled type of deck, so it's a good reason. That's one of the main reasons why players are playing it, because it's really just anti-meta, very similar to Regenesis Cashtira, but it's slightly different because it has more power cards that can set up Omni negates. And depending on how the player build their deck, going first, if your opponent don't have any outs, they're good. Going second is going to be a hard time for that player using that deck. But once again, I think it's a little worse than Regenesis Cashtira, in my opinion, only because Regenesis stuff, when they pop off, they make a really threatening board with a bunch of Omni negates. Fiendsmith stuff pops off. It's kind of predictable. We kind of know what we're up against. And if you like drove them, they're in a hard position. Diddy Crow is popping up in a lot of main decks now. I'm personally maining 3. And it's that deck, once it gets hit with a couple of Diddy Crows, it's cooked. So, but with that being said, once again, it's a really good rogue deck to look out for if you guys are going to nationals or just on your local scene. So don't snooze on that specific deck. Next deck, Versus. Oh my God, bro. If I had a nickel for every Versus deck I done cooked online. But on some serious shit though, the deck is really good. I mean, I've been beaten by it as well. That Holly Sue card, the fact that it can just take control of your opponent's monster is insane. The deck is a go first deck. Once again, they have a hard time going second, but once they start resolving everything and have all their Versus stuff in rotation, you're cooked. Especially once they start recycling from the graveyard, everything like that. People are considering Psyduck and DD Designator for the deck. But once again, like I said, it suffers going second. So I won't be surprised if it tops or maybe make day 2. I don't see it going all the way. Not without the K9 support, because the K9 support makes the deck more crazy. It's just really hard going first. And even going second, like I've had a lot of games where I lost going second against that deck. Mainly because they opened up Droll and just like general floodgates. A lot of people when it's upcoming in this format right now are main decking things like Thrust, or not side decking things like Thrust for more floodgates for like the Misarugi Raizu decks and the Malice deck. So unless that deck if they draw their outs, they're gonna cook you. However, with that being said, if you don't draw anything against them and they just have a gas hand, you lose. So be on the lookout for the deck. It ain't sweet. Don't think because the K9 stuff is not out yet, you're going to automatically beat your opponent. Trust me, you will get cooked if that deck starts popping off. And the last deck I want to talk about is Orcus Misarugi. So just like Fiendsmith Misarugi, Orcus Misarugi, in my opinion, is a rogue deck. Some people think it's a meta deck. Some people call it tier 1.5. I think it's rogue. It's not better than Misarugi Raizu. It's just an additional deck in the metagame that's really good. They have been top 8 regionals, so maybe that does make it meta. But to me, I think it's like, at the very least, it's like low tier meta, borderline in tier 1.5 into rogue. So I'm categorizing it as a like rogue of the rogue. It's a graveyard based deck. Like once again, like every deck in this video, going second, it's a hard time. Hell, even when they go first, depending on your hand, like if you Ash Blossom to certain cards, if you open up more Charmers against this matchup, they're going to have a hard time. But if they open up a good hand against you, it's like a mono-e-mono game where it's going to be playing who has the better deck, who has the better hand wins. So, but the deck's very scary. They do Orcus things. I just don't see Orcus as much as a threat, especially if you're a player who are either main decking DD Crows and or main decking things like Bishops. You should have a pretty good time against this matchup. Also, you need your more Charmers for this format, like, you know, Fuelos the right time, Perulia in the draw phase all matter for the matchup, so that way you don't gain a lot of advantage against them. And of course, some people are coming back with Forbidden Droplet as well. So Droplet kind of hurts when any of these decks I just listed set up a boss monster, help reduce the boss monster. But with that being said, don't snooze, to the deck will cook you if you think it's sweet. So yeah, man, like 1 is not better than 5, 5 is not better than 1. All these decks, even the honorable mentions, can cook you at a high level if the opponent knows the deck in and out and you know nothing about it. So study these decks and you guys should be fine, and cater your side deck to be generic enough so if you do play against these decks, you guys will have a good time. So, with all that being said, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. If there was a rogue deck that should have been on this list that wasn't, let me know. Be dropping a little bit more consistent videos throughout this week. I just needed to take a little mini break from Yu-Gi-Oh! For you guys that have been wondering what a consistent video has been at. I've been playtesting for Nationals and obviously doing my Beyblade hobby, which is I really like. But yeah, man, check out the Discord. Discord link should be in the description down below, or maybe it's on me on a pinned comment. I don't know yet. And also, while you're in the description, check out my channel sponsors. TradingCardMint.com for 7% off, and Imperium Duelist for 10% off. All right, man, it's your boy Rogue Hero, and I'm signing out. Peace. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.